All right, guys, good morning. So we're going to pick up pretty much where we left off from yesterday. So yesterday we finally got to the picture frame problem. And for the most part, the two that we did, first, we were given the dimensions of the inside. We said that there was a frame of uniform width, which we called X. We had to find the dimensions algebraically of the outside. And for the first couple problems, we were given the area of the outside, so we did the length of the outside times the width of the outside equals a whole area. The very last one we did, I gave you just the area of the frame, and we said there was some subtraction involved, and that was kind of a setup for today's lesson. So we're going to do a similar one now, kind of to get warmed up. So we got a 4x10 picture with a frame of uniform width. So let's go back to our picture. So here's my 4, here's my 10, and we said I've got this uniform width around it. Right, so this was X and X, and we said we can put those X's everywhere. Really, we just have to put it on this, one on the side, one on top, but I'm going to try to be as thorough as possible here. So we said that if this is 10 units, right, this is 10 units, I've got an extra X units, I've got an extra X units, I can call this 10 plus 2X. And if this is 4, and if this is X, and if this is X, I can call this 4 plus 2X. But what the question here is saying is that it says the area of the frame only. Now, how am I going to find the area of just the frame? Well, the area of the frame is this. Well, that's the area of the outside minus the area of the inside. So if I could find the area of the blue minus the area of the orange, which is the inside, it would give me the area of the frame. So the outside, we've got 10 plus 2X times 4 plus 2X. Now the inside is just, it looks like 4 by 10, which is 40. And it says that area should be equal to 72 square feet. So let's see what this looks like now. So we said we're going to want to do our FOIL. So I've got my 4x squared. I've got 8x and 20x is 28x. And I've got my 10 times 4 is 40. And we said generally with problems like this, the constant is going to net out. As in 40 minus 40 is 0. So we've got 4x squared plus 28x equals 72. I'm going to put this in standard form by adding negative 72 on both sides. And we said we are not going to use the 5-step method unless we have to. 5-step method will yield the correct solutions, but not the right factors, okay? Which means it probably would be a deduction on a region. So I've got x squared plus 7x minus 18. I can factor that as x plus 9 times the quantity x minus 2. Now we're going to go to the zero product property. So one of my solutions should be negative 9. My other one should be 2. So my negative 9 is going to be rejected. That's what we call an extraneous solution. So really our only solution is going to be x is equal to 2. So let's go back and answer the question. So it says that they want to know the width of the frame. So we'd say the frame is 2 feet wide. And as always, guys, we want to go back sure and check it and make sure it works. So if the frame is 2 feet wide, this would be 10 plus 2x. So 10 plus 2 times 2 is 10 plus 4 is 14. And this is 4 plus 2x, which is 4 plus 4, which is 8. And we'd expect it to check. So if I took the area of the outside is 14 times 8, which is going to be 112. The area of the inside is going to be 10 times 4, which is 40. And if I subtract them, I should get 72, which is exactly what we were told that the area of the frame was. All right, so we're only going to really be able to model, I'll model one of these with the lesson, and then we'll do the now try. So really, you're going to want to do the now try. I don't think seeing one of these alone is going to be enough where we're going to really be able to achieve mastery of it. So it says our garden has a length that's 3 more than twice the width. Outside the garden is a walkway 4 feet wide. All right, so, and then it says the area of the walkway only is 208. Okay, so if I was doing this in class, I'd have a lot of questions. So the area of the walkway only is 208. So that's similar to the one that I just did and the last one that I did yesterday, right? Now, as part of the now try at least. So if you didn't do that, I would go back and I would check the video again and I would work through that problem. So a couple things that are different about this. So again, my question to the class would be, what's different about this problem? The first thing that's different is we know the width of the band or the frame, or in this case, it's a walkway. But we're given the dimensions algebraically. It says the length is 3 more than twice the width. So it's kind of like the opposite of the information from yesterday, right? Yesterday, I gave you the dimensions of the picture or the painting or whatever it was inside, and the width around it was unknown. Now we know the width around it, right? But we don't know the actual dimensions. So it says the length is 3 more than twice the width. So we're going to call the width x, and 3 more than twice the width is going to be 2x plus 3. Now let's think about what we know about this band. So it says the garden around it, the garden's the inside. The walkway around it's 4 feet wide. So I'm going to fill in 4 around it. All right, so now we need to think about what's the outside, right? So this is 2x plus 3. I've got an extra 4. I've got an extra 4. So 2x plus 3 plus 4 is really 2x plus 3 plus 8, which becomes 2x plus 11. And I'm going to do the same thing for the vertical segment. This is x units plus 4 units plus 4 units is x plus 4 plus 4, which is x plus 8. All right, so that wasn't terrible, right? If you really understood what we did yesterday, that part shouldn't have been so terrible. Now this is where it's going to get tough. So it says the area of the walkway only is 208. All right, so how do we find the area of the walkway? Well, it's going to be the area of the outside minus the area of the inside is going to be equal to the area of the walkway. All right, so let's see what that looks like. So my area of my outside is 2x plus 11 times x plus 8. All right, minus the area of the inside, which is x times the quantity 2x plus 3, is equal to the area of our walkway, which is 208. Now, if we solve the problem or if we solve the equation like this, we are going to make a mistake. Absolutely 100% we will make a mistake. And the reason we're going to make a mistake is this. I need to subtract this entire product. If I simply distribute the x, I'm not going to end up subtracting the product. I'm just going to subtract the first term. So it is extremely important that we put brackets here. Now, there is an alternative to doing this, right? So if you want to, and I don't want to confuse anyone too much, so I'm going to just stick with one way of doing it. The other way we can say is the area of the inside plus the area of the walkway is equal to the area of the outside. That would eliminate this problem of distributing the negative, but it's a little harder to set up the equation that way. But again, if this is something where you got some time and you want to experiment with different things, that's a good approach also. So again, it's the area of the outside minus the area of the inside is equal to my total area. But I need to make sure that this quantity that I put in the brackets and the braces in green stays in parentheses or brackets so we distribute the negative. So now I can do my FOIL. So this is my 2x squared. This is 16x and 11x is 27x. This is going to be 88. I'm going to put my minus here. I'm going to put in parentheses, I'm going to distribute now. 2x squared plus 3x. Close off those parentheses is 208. And again, this is probably the most important part here. You could do everything right. We've done all the hard stuff right. And if you don't distribute the negative correctly, it's not going to work. So I've got 2x squared plus 27x plus 88 minus 2x squared minus 3x equals 208. Now what you're going to notice is these problems generally do not end up being quadratics. Yeah, I know it's a quadratic equations unit, but this is not a quadratic because look what's going to happen. 2x squared and negative 2x squared is 0. 27x and negative 3x is 24x plus 88 equals 208. So I've got 24x is equal to 120. All right, so x is equal to 5. So I'm pretty happy with that, right? I'm not 100% sure it's correct, right? I'm more sure than if I got 37/11ths or something like that, but we definitely want to go back. First of all, we got to answer the question, which I haven't done yet, and then we want to go back and check it and make sure it makes sense. All right, so what happens if x is equal to 5? Well, x is equal to 5. I can fill in here. That would mean 2x is 10 plus 3 is 13. It would mean that 2x is 10 plus 11 is 21. And it would mean x is 5 plus 8 is 13. So let's take a look here, right? So I would expect the area of my walkway to be 208, I believe. Okay, so my area of the outside is 21 by 13, right, which is going to be what, 273. And the area of my inside is going to be 5 by 13, which is 65. And when I subtract that, I should end up with 208. Which is exactly what we expected. Let's go back. Let's give ourselves a little check here that it worked. What are the dimensions of the garden? Well, we haven't answered that question. Well, these are the dimensions. This is the garden, right? Outside it, that's just a walkway around our garden. So this is my garden. So these are the dimensions of my garden. The units that we're given are feet. So we would say the dimensions are 5 feet by 13 feet. Right, so this is a long problem. There's a lot of work required here. There's no shortcuts. It's not like this is the long way and I can show you a faster way of doing it. Other than, like I said, the other way where we find the area of the inside plus the 208, that's the walkway, equals the area of the outside. It's the same amount of work. We just save ourselves from distributing the negative. Right, so this is the day, and really you guys should be doing the now try every day. So, right, if the lessons are only 10 or 15 minutes, and I only get to model maybe 1 or 2 problems, you really should be doing the now tries. But especially today, I think this would be really important that you guys are covering this. All right, so it says a rectangular garden has a length that is 3 feet less than twice its width. So I've got x, I've got 2x minus 3. It says around the garden is a walkway 5 feet wide. Okay, so I've got my 5 feet here and in all directions. And again, guys, you should be doing this on your own. So if you didn't already, I would hit pause. I would kind of try to work this out on my own. Now, if you have no clue, you can obviously follow along with this one again. That's better than not doing it. But it would be good to try this one on your own. So now let's think about what we know here, right? So I've got my 2x minus 3, plus I've got an extra 5, plus I've got an extra 5. That means I have an extra 10. So 2x minus 3 plus 10 really should be 2x plus 7. Now the vertical segment should be easy, right? I've got x units here. I've got an extra 5. I've got an extra 5. I've got an extra 10. So that's x plus 10. So what are they telling me, right? That the area of the walkway only is 280. Okay, so how do I find the area of the walkway? We've said this now for the 3rd time, right? It's the area of the outside minus the area of the inside. So the outside we said was going to be 2x plus 7. I'm not sure why I wrote 2x plus 2. It should be 2x plus 7, right? 2x minus 3 plus 5 is 2x minus 3 plus 10, which is 2x plus 7 times x plus 10. All right, so 2x plus 7 times x plus 10, that's the area of my outside. Subtract my area of the inside, which is x times 2x minus 3. Equals the area of the walkway, which they're giving us as 280. All right, so again, guys, I'm going to really want to kind of hammer this home here that I need to distribute that negative separately. So I've got my 2x squared here when I do my FOIL. I've got 20x and 7x is 27x. And I've got my 70 minus, and I'm going to put this in parentheses, I'm going to distribute 2x squared minus 3x equals 280. So as you can see, and if you did it on your own, you know this already, it's not a quadratic once again, right? So now I've got my 2x squared plus 27x plus 70. Distribute that negative, so that's how my 2x squared is going to be eliminated. All right, so let's add the like terms. So as I've mentioned now a few times, that's going to go to 0. I've got 30x plus 70 is equal to 280. All right, which is going to give 30x equals 210. And divide by 30x is 7. And again, guys, I feel pretty good about this, but that's not ensuring that we did this correct. Let's go back. And let's sub in. Right, if x is 7, 2x is 14, minus 3 is 11. And 7 plus 10 is equal to 17. And 2 times 7 is 14, plus 7 is 21. So we would expect the area of the outside, right, which is 21 times 17, which is going to be 357. Minus the area of the inside, which is 11 by 7, which is 77, to be equal to 280. And if I go back, that's exactly what I expected it to be. What are the dimensions of the garden? Let's answer the question. So this is my garden, right? So the dimensions of my garden are right here, 7 by 11 feet. So my final answer is 7 feet by 11 feet. All right, guys, now this is one, and I should have mentioned this really about all these word problem lessons. You may need to go back and you may need to watch it, right? I do go through these kind of fast with the understanding that you can pause, you can go back. You know, the homework is created by me. It's not like a textbook assignment. So I created that homework explicitly based on the lesson. So go back and rewatch the lesson, slow it down until you're actually be able to set it up and it makes sense to you. You should then be able to do the homework. If not, of course, you can reach out to me. But again, I'm doing this with the understanding that you can go back, you can slow it down, you can take your time as much as you need to, and that you are completing, obviously, the now try.